Hello, my dear students. Myself, Sheikh Gulnaz. Now I am here with the topic of rise of new religions for the student of 6th standard and subject social science. Students, I hope you all are fine and healthy at your home. So now let us come here to the next chapter, that is rise of new religions. Students, in this chapter you are going to learn about 2500 years ago, many new philosophies came into existence that were different from Vedic philosophy. Okay, Gautama Buddha and Mahavir were the harbingers of new philosophies. These are the persons, those who are the roots of these philosophies. Their life and preaching are discussed here. In this lecture, you are going to learn about the two important philosophers, that is Gautama Buddha and Mahavira, and their philosophies are discussed and their teachings are also discussed here. Along with this, the functions and 16 Janapadas on other republics that were in the plains of Ganga and Sindhu rivers are also explained. In this chapter, students, functions of 16 Janapadas and other republics that were in the plains of Ganga and Sindhu rivers are also explained. Competencies to understand the causes of the rise of new religions. Okay, to know the biographies of the Buddhas, Gautam Buddha's and Mahavira's life, to understand the preaching of Gautam Buddha and Mahavira, to comprehend the relevance of the Buddhist and Jain philosophies, to appreciate the traditions of republics which were present 2500 years ago. You are going to learn here. Why did the new religions emerge? Students, why did the new religions came to introduce? During the Vedic period, the rituals like yaga and yagna needed animal sacrifice. Okay, during the Vedic period, rituals like yaga and yagna needed animal sacrifices. These were the ceremonies during the period of Vedic. They used to perform this. For that, they used to sacrifice animals. This affected the food production. If we are continuously sacrificing the animals, students, so what happened? It will affect the food production, because we get food from two sources, that is from plants and animals. If we are destroying the for our needs, we are sacrificing animals by making them die, so it will be causing the effect also. So apart from this, food grains, milk and ghee were offered as havisu and burnt in the fire, which resulted in the shortage of food. Apart from this, what happened here, students? The food that comes from animals like food grains, milk and ghee were offered as havisu and burnt in the fire, which resulted in the shortage of food. Havisu is nothing but, student, they used to put that foods like ghee and milk into the that fire. So if we are burning that, means what happened? That will affect, it will be the shortage of that food which we are burning. So this was the problem. So people had also believed that only through these yagnas true liberations, mukti, was possible. They used to believe that if they perform the yagnas, like ceremonies like this, they perform, so what happened? The mukti will be possible. But these costly rituals were beyond the means of common people. Yes, rich people can do everything, whatever they want for servicing God and for mukti and all. But what about poor? They cannot afford the things like this, right? They cannot sacrifice animals and they cannot burn the foods like milk and ghee and all. So Sanskrit was, because of these students, what happened? These rituals were conducted by reciting Sanskrit slokas. They used, while they perform pujas and these ceremonies, they used to sing the slokas. Slokas are nothing but a song, sacred song, religious song. They used to sing, and that songs are also in Sanskrit language, which was beyond the common people. Common people cannot understand this language, Sanskrit language. So it is very hard to pronounce. So Sanskrit was the priest language and common people were unable to understand it. So the priest people, those are the rich people, they only can speak this because they have the knowledge of this that language. So but common people, they cannot. People were expectations of a simple path to liberation that was explained in their own languages. So people were in expectation of simple path to liberations. So if they want to do everything and they want to worship Mukti, and also they have to explain them in a common language, or else they cannot understand, right? So this was the reason. And due to Varna system, social disintegration set in. Varnashram system is nothing but, students, the Vedic people, they divided the peoples according to their professions, according to their work. They have been divided them. This led to a social discriminations. So the priestly class of that time, Brahmins, had many luxurious. So Varnashrama system was, they have divided the peoples into four groups, that is Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Shudras. So Brahmins had many luxurious life. Brahmins are on the top. Meanwhile, Kshatriyas started becoming powerful. So as a result, republics emerged. So because of this, what happened? Republics also emerged. The Kshatriyas became the reason for the emergence of new religions that were against the Brahmins. So Kshatriyas were next to Brahmins. So they became more powerful. Compared to Brahmins, Kshatriyas became powerful. This was the reason the new religions has been emerged, came into introduce. So what happened here is, they were against the Brahmins, so Kshatriyas. So around 2600 years ago, due to all these reasons, there were 62 new religions. There were 62 new religions. Buddhism and Jainism are important among them. In that, Buddhism and Jainism are important. So Gautam Buddha was the founder of Buddhism, and Mahavira was the important Tirthankara of Jainism. Got it? Here the two religions has been came into important among them is Buddhism and Jainism. These are the religions which were followed by the kings also. These were the religions by where they followed by kings, and the kings were also inspired by these religions. Okay, so Tirthankara of Jainism, both here Mahavira was the Tirthankara of Jainism, okay, and Gautam Buddha was the founder of Buddhism. So these are the two important scholars. So both these were the Kshatriyas belonging to a clan of republics. So they were having a plan of a republics, and they were having the in their mindset they were having only republics. So now let us see about this one of the important religion, that is Buddhism. The religion founded by Gautam Buddha was Buddhism. It was established about 2500 years ago. The Buddha's life. Now let us see about these founders' life, that is Buddha. Gautam Buddha was born in Lumbini near Kapilavastu of Nepal. Gautam Buddha was born in Lumbini near Kapilavastu of Nepal. His childhood name was Siddhartha. Gautam Buddha's, before his name was, while he was child, his name was Siddhartha. So his father was Shuddhodana and was the head of Shakya Republic. So his mother was Maya Devi. Father was Shuddhodana and mother was Maya Devi. His wife was Yashodhara and Rahul was his son. These were the family members of Buddhas. So what happened here? A sage named Asita said that Siddhartha would be the king of world after seeing him as an infant. If we see, naturally he would maybe king. Who said this? A sage named as Asita. So he also predicted that he would be a sage who get rid of misery of the world. So whichever things are there in this world, so he can be getting the interest by the important things, and he may be getting have been taken the entertaining of that world, but he was not. So on hearing the words of the sage, expecting his son to become a king, Shuddhodana brought him up in luxury and insulated him for miseries of the world. So because of this, what happened? Shuddhodana brought him in a luxury and beautiful life, in a common rich people's life, and insulated him as the miseries of the world. Still Siddhartha remained unhappy. Though his father taken him in a good world and luxurious life, then also Siddhartha was unhappy. Who Siddhartha, students here? Gautam Buddha, when he was child. So then what happened? Still Siddhartha remained unhappy. Once while roaming in the city, accidentally, once he was roaming in the city, what happened? See here, he came across an old man, deceased man, a sage, and a funeral procession. Here, while he was roaming around the city, accidentally what happened? He met an old man. He was suffering from a disease, and he was a sage with funeral processions. He was having nothing. Students, he was suffering from like that disease, dangerous disease. So all the four scenes made him to renounce the world things and motivate him to go in search of the root cause of sorrow. By saying this, students, what happened? These four things, like firstly he was an old man, and he was a diseased man, and a sage, and a funeral procession. These are the four things. So because of that, what happened? He wanted to search the root of sorrow, from where the sorrow comes from, where the sadness comes from. He wanted to see that. So on night, Siddhartha left his family and palace without informing anyone. On that night, what happened? Siddhartha left his family and palace without informing to anyone. So he sought guidance from many sages on the ways of roaming sorrow. So removing sorrow, because his intention was now to remove the sorrow. So because of that, he met many sages and asked them for the guidance. Still, he could not find answers about the root of sorrow. So finally, he sat under a peepal tree in Gaya of Bihar and meditated for many days. Here, students, finally what happened? Then he didn't got any questions, any response from the peoples, from where the sorrow comes from. So he finally he got under a tree that is a peepal tree. It is known as a banyan tree, students. So under banyan tree he sat there and meditated. He meditated there for many days. So he became enlightened there and became Buddha. From there he enlightened and he became their Buddha. Buddha means one who knows. This place is known as Buddh Gaya. The place where Buddha sat for meditation, that place is known as Buddha Gaya. Buddha means here, students, one who knows everything, the person who knows. So here he was said where which place is known as Buddh Gaya? The place where he said, that is under a peepal tree in Gaya of Bihar. Okay, so Buddha preached his thoughts to 5 disciples of Saranath near Varanasi of present Uttar Pradesh for the first time. So he preached his thoughts to 5 disciples, 5 students, and at Saranath near Varanasi of present Uttar Pradesh for the first time. So this incident as Dharma Chakra Parivartana. This incident is identified as Dharma Chakra Parivartana. Later he travelled around Bihar and other places for about 40 years and preached his thoughts. So after that, this incident, which incident? Where he preached 5 disciples at Saranath near Varanasi of present Uttar Pradesh for the first time. This incident is identified as Dharma Chakra Parivartana. So later he travelled around Bihar and other places for about 40 years and preached his thoughts. Slowly, what happened here is, students, slowly the fame Buddha spread around. He became famous. Many kings respected him. Finally, Buddha passed away at Kushinagar of Bihar. Where he born, students? In Kapilavastu of Nepal. Then he got under a peepal tree and sat there for doing meditation and all. That place is known as Buddh Gaya. The place where he was saying is the Gaya of Bihar. Then next he teach 5 disciples of Saranath near Varanasi of present Uttar Pradesh. There he added that incident is identified as Dharma Chakra Parivartana. So after that, what happened? For 40 years he preached to the places. He moved from one place to another place for teaching. He's preaching his thoughts and all. Slowly he became famous. Many of the kings during that period respected him and followed Buddhism also. So Buddha passed away at Kushinagar of Bihar finally. So now let us see what were the Buddha's teaching. The aim of Buddha's teaching was to attain knowledge by practicing purity in life and thought. The main intention was the knowledge by practicing purity in life and thought. He called this as Dhamma. The world is full of sorrow. Desire is the reason for sorrow. Whoever wins over desire attains nirvana, liberation. He thought that the world is full of sorrow. Desire is the reason for sorrow. If we are deserving, if we want like this, that, if we are demanding for more than one thing, students, you know what? Whichever things we have, we should be satisfied with that. If you are demanding for more and more, that is a desire for cause. Because of that you may be having sorrow, you may be feel sad. If you are asking for, you have one thing, then also you are demanding for another thing. If you didn't got that thing, then you will start getting sad and all. This was the reason. So don't desire is the main reason of sorrow. Whoever wins over desire attains nirvana. He taught eightfold paths to attain nirvana, which includes right way. He used to teach like we should be in right view, right resolve, right to speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. This is called as Ashtanga Marga. These are the eightfold paths to attain nirvana. To attain nirvana, these are the eightfold paths, which are that right view, right resolve, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. This is called the Ashtanga Marga. So 4 stages of Buddha's life are Mahaparityaga, Jnanodaya, Dharmachakra Parivartana, and Mahaparinirvana. The basic teaching of Buddha are known as 4 noble truths. 4 noble truths are: world is full of sorrow, desire is the root of sorrow, conquering desire is the way out of sorrow, Ashtanga Marga is the path to end sorrow. Siddhartha is called as Buddha, Tathagata, and Shakya Muni. So this was about the Buddha's life. Apart from this, Buddha also asked his disciples not to consume liquor, practice violence, engage in corruption, and untruthfulness. Like this, the teachings of Buddha were easy and popular as he preached them in Pali, the common people's language. All his teachings were collected in three Tripitikas by his disciples. They are Vinayak Pitaka, Sutta Pitaka, and Abhidhamma Pitaka. These are called as the holy books of Buddhism. These are the holy books of Buddhism, which are there: Vinayaka Pitaka, Sutta Pitaka, and Abhidhamma Pitaka. So there is another view which says a river dispute made Siddhartha to leave his palace. River dispute was there. This was the reason why he left the palace. There was a dispute over river water sharing between Siddhartha's state and another state. Siddhartha opposed his people who were on the verge of war over this issue and later left his palace. This information is found in Dr. B.R. Ambedkar's book. The reason why he left his palace is that they were having a river dispute between the place where he was living, Siddhartha, and the another state. So because of that, he said him not to fight and all, but they were the issue of war and all. So because of that, this was the reason why he left that his palace. This was information found in Dr. B.R. Ambedkar's book. So Kissa Gautami. There are many stories related by the Buddha. One such story is Kissa Gautami. Kissa Gautami, she has lost her only child and was roaming around the streets carrying her dead child in her arms. On seeing this sorrow plight, a person took her to Buddha. She wanted her dead child alive. Buddha said, "I will certainly make your child alive, but I need mustard seed from a house that has no death in it to do that." So what happened here? Stories. In this story, student, there are many stories related to Buddha. So one such story is Kissa Gautami. She is one woman. She lost her child and she was roaming around the streets on the roads of that city. So she was holding her dead child in her arm, and on seeing this sorrow plight, a person took him to the Buddha. So Buddha said here she wanted her child to be alive. So Buddha said, "I will certainly make your child alive again, but I need mustard seed from a house that has no death in it to do that." So Buddha said them to bring a mustard seed. So from that house where no one has been died. So what happened here, students? Kissa Gautami was very happy and went around to find mustard seed from a house that has no death. But every house had a death in it. One or the other had died. A father, mother, sister, brother, son, daughter, grandfather, grandmother, etc. had died in every family she visited. So this was the reason, students. So what was the message Buddha was trying to give in Kissa Gautami is, the Buddha did not write any book. His disciples took notes of his teaching and preserved them. Later his teachings were compiled in the form of Sutta Pitaka. This book is in Pali language, the common people's language. So now let us see about Jainism, another important religion. Life of Mahavira. Mahavira is the 24th Tirthankara and preached Jainism. He was born 2500 years ago at Kundagrama near Vaishali. His earlier name was Vardhamana. Vardhamana's father was Siddhartha, a rich Kshatriya and the head of the Kundagrama. Vardhamana's mother was Trishali Devi. Vardhamana left his home in search of enlightenment. He spent some time as Digambara Muni. Later he spent 12 years in penance and became a Jina. Jina means here one who has conquered attachment, moha. His followers are also called as Jains. Mahavira preached to people from all classes. He left his body at Pawapuri in present Bihar. Student, now let us see the life of Mahavira is here. He was a 24th Tirthankara and preached Jainism. He was born in 2500 years ago at Kundagrama near Vaishali. His earlier name was students Vardhamana. Vardhamana's father was Siddhartha, and he is Siddhartha, a rich Kshatriya and head of the Kundagrama, means the head of the village. So Vardhamana's mother was Trishala Devi. Vardhamana left his home in search of enlightenment. So he spent some time in Digambara Muni place. So later he spent 12 years in penance and became a Jina. So he also does the same meditations like that process. So after that he became a Jina. Jina is nothing but a person who has acquired attachment, moha. So his followers are called as Jains. The followers of Mahavira are called as Jains. So Mahavira preached to people from all classes. So he has never does that discrimination and all. For all people, for all classes, he used to teach and preach. So he left his body at Pawapuri in present Bihar. So now let us see the Mahavira's teachings. Vardhamana Mahavira taught non-violence to his disciples. He wanted them not to commit theft and amazing. We should not commit murder and all he used to teach. So he preached celibacy. Jainism has given more prominence to non-violence than any other religion in the world. Students, he used to teach the things like not to do violence and all in a proper method, and he has given that more prominence to non-violence only. More important, he given the more attention towards his non-violence than any other religion in the world. This is the one religion which has been given more concentrations and more intention towards the non-violence. So Mahavira teachings are the continuation of 23rd Tirthankara, that is Parshvanatha. He is the 23rd Tirthankara. Okay. Parshvanatha. Continuation of Parshvanatha was done by Mahavira. So later two sects named Digambara and Shvetambara emerged in Jainism. These are the two sects of Jainism, that is Digambara and Shvetambara. The followers of Parshvanatha, who used to wear white clothes, became Shvetambara. The persons who were wearing the white clothes, they are called the Shvetambara, the followers of Parshvanatha. The followers of Mahavira, who used to wear no clothes, became Digambara. Persons, those who are wearing white clothes, Shvetambara. Those who are wearing no clothes like Mahavira, they were known as Digambara. So Shravanabelgaon of Karnataka is the famous Jain religious center. 5 moral principles in Jainism, they are Ahimsa, non-violence; Satya, truth; Asthya, non-stealing; Aparigraha, non-possessions beyond the need; Brahmacharya, keeping sense under a control; celibacy. So these were the teachings, 5 moral things, principles of Jainism, students, that non-violence, truth, non-stealing, non-possession beyond the need, and keeping senses under the control, celibacy. We are talking to the other persons, we should control what we should think and talk. This was the things he used to teach, and he used to give more concentrations and intention towards non-violence. These are the 5 morals thing he used to teach. Mahajanapadas and republics. Now let us see what are these Mahajanapadas. Let us go back 2500 years in time. That was the time when Buddhas lived. There were 16 kingdoms, big and small, in Sindhu Ganga's plain. There were 16 big and small Sindhu Ganga plains. These kingdoms are called Mahajanapadas. So among them, Magadha, Kaushala, Vatsa were famous Mahajanapadas. They were ruled by the kings. So among the Mahajanapadas, there were the small and Sindhu Ganga's plain was there, river, and so that kingdoms are called Mahajanapadas. Among that, Magadha, Kaushala and Vatsa was a famous Mahajanapadas. So they were ruled by the kings. Now let us see what is this republics. In the same period, many state and representative government, they were called republics. In the same period, many states had representative government. So they were called republic. The peoples of that place were electing their own representative, own leader. So that is called republics. The most important among the republics was Vriji. It was union of many republics. Okay. Vaishali city of Bihar was its capital. Vaji had a Sabha consisting of elder and younger members taking care of the administration. Sabha is nothing but a group of people, elder people and younger people, educated. So they have to run the administration. Members of the Sabha were addressed by the Raja. All matters related to the union were discussed at the Sabha meetings. In the meeting of Sabha, they used to discuss every thought and every problems of the public. Now let us see, students. Let's know, due to the impact of Jainism and Buddhism, animal sacrifice came to an end and vegetarianism began to spread. Buddhism has two main sects called Hinayana and Mahayana. Like in Jainism, we have two sects like Svetambara and Digambara. Like that, in Buddhism, we have two main sects, that is Hinayana and Mahayana. So solve this exercise, students. Fill in the blanks with suitable words. Gautam Buddha was born in dash. Gautam Buddha preached his teaching in dash language. Jina means dash. Dash, the 23rd Tirthankara of Jainism. The sections which wears white clothes belongs to the dash sections of Jainism. So answer the following questions. Where was the Gautam Buddha born? Who were the parents of Gautam Buddha? Where did Buddha give his first sermon? What is the meaning of Dharma Parivartana? Where was Mahavira born? So next question. Who were the parents of Mahavira? What did the Mahavira preach? Which are the sects of Jainism? Name the important republics of ancient India. I discuss this answer briefly. What are the teachings of Buddha? Match the following, that is Gautam Buddha, Mahavira, Vaji, Shravana Belgwala, Tripitaka. So these are the exercise questions, students. You should solve and bring to school for showing and all for correction. So thank you for watching, my students. If you have any questions and doubt relating to this topic, you can ask me on WhatsApp. So thank you, students, for watching my video.